Hi, my name is Lisa Kassner, and I'm a volunteer working to pass Proposition 37 this November. Prop 37 is the California Right to Know Genetically Engineered Food Labeling Initiative. I am one of thousands of grassroots volunteers who are working very hard throughout this state so that you and I can have the fundamental right to know what is in the food we eat and feed our families. Polls show that 90% of Americans and Californians want this food labeled. Before the opposition's ad campaign, we were polling at about 65% for yes. Now many people we have talked to have become very confused because of the barrage of information that they are receiving. This has clouded the very clear reasons why this will be a good law and why it will benefit all California consumers to vote yes. I decided that it was time to make this video. I am a volunteer. I am not paid by anyone. I am not a professional actress. I don't have professional recording equipment, and I'm sorry, but I don't have my lines memorized. I only wish to speak from the heart so that you will see both the passion and the reason that are driving all of our efforts. My fervent hope is that when you hear and see the whole picture, you will join me in voting yes. I appreciate your taking time to consider the serious issues involved with genetically engineered foods. I will do my best to be brief, to describe the issue in general, and then respond to the commonly asked concerns. If I don't answer your questions, or if your viewing is cut short, please do yourself and your family a favor and consider the Yes on 37 website, carightToKnow.org, which has all the information. Let me start by asking you, do you look at calorie listings on food labels, allergen information, trans fats? These are all helpful bits of information that we have on food packaging that help us to make an informed choice about what we are buying. But there is something else that is not on food labels and should be, and that is whether the food contains genetically engineered ingredients. What is genetic engineering? It is when genes from one species, such as a bacterium, virus, animal, or even humans, are forced into the DNA of a food crop or animal to introduce a new trait. This is a laboratory process. It is not found in nature. It's not the same as the age-old practice of selective breeding. Genetically engineered foods are sometimes called GMOs, which means genetically modified organisms. According to the Grocery Manufacturers Association, 80% of processed foods in the United States contain GMO ingredients. Right now, there are 8 GMO food crops: corn, soy, cottonseed, canola, sugar beets, Hawaiian papaya, crookneck squash, and zucchini. Why do we need labeling of GMOs? Because the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, is allowing these foods to be sold to us without having been proven safe for human consumption. There are animal studies with negative findings, including organ damage, tumors, infertility, and immune system changes. Toxins from GMO corn have been found in the blood of 93% of pregnant women and 80% of their umbilical cords. GMOs can potentially cause allergic reactions due to the insertion of genes from one species into another without the knowledge of the consumer. These indicate potential health risks for humans eating GMOs. It is clear that more research is needed, yet we are eating these foods every day in baby formula, corn syrup, cereal, candy, and so much more. The long-term peer-reviewed Séralini study was just published, which linked genetically engineered corn, which contains insecticide in every cell, to mammary tumors and organ damage. Russia just banned the importing of Monsanto's GMO sweet corn because of this study. But there is no law in the U.S. to even have it labeled so that we have a choice whether to eat it or not. The World Health Organization and the American Medical Association agree GMOs should undergo mandatory safety testing, but instead of requiring independent science, The FDA wants us to trust pesticide companies that produce GMO seeds. Companies like Monsanto, Dow, and DuPont. These companies that told us that DDT and Agent Orange were safe. They have bought up the pesticide companies to such a degree that the majority of corn, soy, and canola we buy are GMO. They either have pesticides in the cells, or are modified to withstand heavy pesticide applications. 85% of conventional corn and corn products we eat are from GMO corn, which is regulated as a pesticide by the FDA. In addition, people may be breaking the dictates of their conscience or religious laws without knowing it by eating GMOs. There are no laws now that help vegetarians know they are possibly eating ice cream with GMO yeast with fish genes in it. And for Jews and Muslims whose religion can prohibit eating eel, there are no federal or California laws that will require labeling of the upcoming GMO salmon with eel genes. GMOs are linked to financial, environmental, and long-term food supply concerns such as 1. The prevalence of pesticides and herbicides, 2. Their effect on beneficial plants and animals and also on humans, and 3. The growing monopoly of the large seed companies over the world food supply and the resulting monoculture planting of foods. These issues are already having financial effects on farmers worldwide. American companies like Coke, Pepsi, and Kellogg must already label GMOs in 61 other countries. Don't we deserve these same rights? Because prior efforts to pass legislation in the United States or have the FDA require that this food be labeled, these have all failed. A grassroots petition drive was done to qualify Proposition 37 for the California ballot. Now may be our only chance to get this food labeled.